Yo, what's up? What's happening? Welcome to another episode of Red Leg Podcast. Man, I don't even sound energized when I say that, man. um, because it's like I think I'm at a point where the only reason why I'm talking about military stuff is because I'm working on another book. And so I I don't want to m- make the effort to interview other veterans. Now, if another veteran wants to interview me, then I'm like, all right, I'll talk about it. Ask me questions, shit like that. We could talk about it. But I just, I think I'm damn near over it because, I mean, I'm sure, pretty sure I'll talk about some shit on TikTok here and there from time to time. I know I probably will, but to where I'm just making videos back to back to back to back to back about these army stories, and it's like, no, I don't feel like, I don't think I feel like doing that shit no more. I just want to, I I look forward to finishing Red Leg 4 so I can put finally put that segment of my life mostly behind me. Because it's gonna, you ain't never getting rid of Uncle Sam now. That ain't gonna happen, man. That's just, nah, that ain't happening. That motherfucker's like, damn, Freddy Krueger. That motherfucker pop up in your dreams, dog. But and I could talk about these stories, but I'm like, I need to finish this book because I want to have this book done before the end of the year because I want to get this book done so I can work on other projects. I've got a project for. I need a brotherly therapy needs some attention. I got an idea for a couple of video games that I want to do, and so I just want to get this project behind me. Now, Red Leg. Before we even get Red Leg Volume 4, let me. I know there was a story on here that, let me see. Let me go on Task and Purpose, taskandpurpose.com. Where is it at? I don't even probably need to look it up. Basically, there we go. Army drill sergeants get prison for prohibited trainee relationships. All right. A trainee reported that two drill sergeant instructors targeted her and a second recruit during basic training at Fort Leonard Wood. Two Army drill sergeants were sentenced to prison, busted down the rank of private, and will be discharged after pleading guilty to engaging in sexual relationships with trainees during boot camp at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, officials announced. One of the trainees reported the two drill sergeants the day before basic training graduation. Damn. They must have not gotten a waiver to the next rank. Staff Sergeant Michael Serrano, 34, and Sergeant First Class Brian Sullivan, 39, were drill sergeants assigned to 3rd Chemical Brigade when they had prohibited relationships with newly recruited soldiers, then worked together to cover up the crimes. The two drill sergeants faced separate court-martial proceedings last week and signed separate plea agreements. Probably snitched on each other. A trainee brought a letter to her unit staff duty officer, which described how Sullivan had pursued her while Serrano pursued a second trainee in the unit, Army officials said in a release. The letter was shared with the command and Army Criminal Investigation Division. Sullivan pleaded guilty to abusive sexual contact and was sentenced to 84 days in prison. He will be reduced to the rank of E1 and will receive other than honorable discharge. And other than honorable, not an dishonorable. Okay, you can bounce back from that. You ain't getting no benefits, but you can appeal that thing on up. After his sentence was Sullivan, oh man, will have to register as a sex offender according to the state and federal laws said. Okay, let me see. Anything else in there? I guess it's abuse of power. That's why you have to be on the list. But God has not created a pussy or a bussy that is worth losing your freedom over. And stuff like that happens just part all the time and down in that lane. I'm just glad that I was in the army during a time where during basic training, the only women that I saw were the chow hall ladies, which is dudes. It was a sausage party. And then I got to my unit and women weren't allowed in combat jobs, more of a sausage party. It just made life so much easier. Because if I wanted some pussy, I had to go where the pussy was. The pussy just wasn't right there in front of me. And it was one less thing that I had to worry about. All right. And it's like I feel like you have to be careful with your interactions with women in the army because it's all like take shit the wrong way or, oh, they made me feel uncomfortable, yada, yada. I'm like, cool, nah, I'm good. But hey, good luck to them as they try to figure out life after they get out. No benefits. Hey, gotta hustle, dog. But all right, I need to definitely work on this book. I think tonight when I write, what do I want to talk about? All right, so the chapters I've already knocked out. I think I did 3, maybe 4 or 4 or 5. So I talked about the story about Backpage. I fucked a escort off of Backpage. Talked about the time I got a hand job from a at a massage, an Asian massage parlor by like a 50 plus year old Asian woman. And then I talked about fucking the combat stress soldier when I was in Iraq. And man, I got so many stories. Do I want to talk about when I lived with a heroin addict? My 8-year situationship with Renata. I can talk about Nikki, going to ALC, getting decertified, DUI classes. I might talk about some one night stands. Or then there's the Air Force lieutenant that I fucked. She was at the Air Force Academy. So, like I said, the approach with this one is just me telling the stories in my phone and then using, what I'll do is I'll have it transcribe it, upload it to some notes, send it to my computer, put it in ChatGPT, have it clean it up, put it in paragraph form, and then throw it on Google Docs, and we'll go from there. And what I would like to do also, I think during the process, I'm probably going to put some of this stuff on Substack. So if you want to watch, like, see a part of the process, go on Substack and you'll get the raw versions of these stories. But for the sake of filling out this episode, I guess. Well, one, I'm seeing more soldiers air out leadership on TikTok. And I'll be like, what are you doing? Like, at least wait till after you get out. All right, unless it is some super illegal shit, which you shouldn't be talking about online. There, go through the proper channels, go holler at CID, holler at the MP, stuff like that. But you're just not gonna, like I said, I served during a different era. You're not gonna get you'll get some empathy from me, but you're not gonna get some sympathy from me about talking about some top leadership. Like, come on, dog. Fucking, I had a physically abusive platoon sergeant. It's like, hey, the military is not normal. And if you try to approach the military through a normal lens of what like outside world thinks is as normal, then you're going to drive yourself fucking crazy. Like, you're just not, of course your mental health is going to be fucked up. If you try to apply logic to an illogical organization, which is interesting because the army makes sense and doesn't make sense at the same time. But if you try to make sense about it, then you're gonna go crazy. It's like, tell your story, say that shit after you get out, because all they're gonna do is make your life harder than it has to be. And then these motherfuckers be on here talking about, um, there's a target on my back. Of course, you talking bad about your leadership, dog. Whew, I'm not in. Glad I'm not in, man. I got out what 2013. I joked that I was going through two divorces my last year in the army. I was going through my regular divorce with my ex-wife, and then I was doing my separation from the army. And I'm thinking back to them times, man. That was stressful. There's so much contrast to, especially that last year, because like I said, I'm going through this divorce. I'm having to pay 28% of my income. I was paying 28% my income to child support. I had a car note. And then my roommate, he had to take care of his family, so he moved out. So I'm paying all the bills by myself, all the rent, all the other shit. And I'm living off the dollar menu, dog. Like it was a struggle, but I got through. And that was once I got my shit together. I was performing at such a high level, and I'm thinking about when I felt my leadership. Well, in particular, my platoon sergeant Smoke. Me getting decertified should have really looked bad on my platoon sergeant. But then I'm thinking about the time that one of my soldiers, Arve, he went to I think he was trying to go to the E6 board. And I didn't make sure he was properly prepared. I was like, oh, you're a grown man. You got it. You got it. And he fell right on his face in that board, man. And I'm like, they were looking at me like, what the fuck? So I'm wondering if they ever looked at Smoke and Sweat like, what the fuck? How you gonna let one of your chiefs come out here and not be prepared to even certify? Like I fell right flat on my face because I went from assistant gunner to ammo team chief, went to Iraq, didn't shoot any rounds while I was down there, no artillery, just all infantry. Came back, went to WLC. We got 777s as I was PCSing. I PCSed to Fort Carson. We're supposed to do an infantry mission like for Iraq. And so when we go to NTC, it's just infantry movements. That's it. Reactive content, tact, 9-line, all that shit, patrols, block, all that shit. No artillery. Go to Iraq. No artillery. Come back from Iraq. Go to ALC. Winged my way through there. Not really asking a lot of questions. It just winged my way through it. Kind of tried to look like I knew what I was doing. Then they throw me in the chief slot. I don't know what I'm doing, man. I'm just winging it. And I winged it to the point where I couldn't wing it no more. And Sergeant Major ended up in my gun. And he was all like, you know what you're doing? I was like, no, I didn't. I was like, hey, get off my range. And I got 4 blocked. I got 4 blocked on my NCOER and barred from reenlistment. But thank God I didn't lose my section. And I just busted my ass afterwards. And you know, that was a beautiful experience though. I'll take it. But is there anything else? Nah, man. Once again, go on Amazon, Red Leg Volume 1, 2, and 3. You can go on YouTube and find 1, 2, and 3 if you just want the audio versions. And 4, by the will of God, will be done before the end of the year. It's a classic. I'm just, I just have that much confidence. I think with 4, I want to have me be more detailed, not too detailed, because one, like if I write, like I said, if I can write a story in detail, like, yo, this person, look like this and this and that. But the thing is, like, I don't remember enough about shit from my life to give you a bunch of that. It's like I barely remember names. So it's like I'm giving you what, and I want people to kind of go through how I view life. Like you'll go through life and you'll come across a lot of people and you just won't remember them later. And you just remember the ones that stood out. You'll have all these experiences, like you're there, you remember when you were there, but then years go by and you're like, damn, I don't even, like, I remember there was a time, like my partner, he was all like, yo, you remember when you and Davis, y'all tried to run up on me in the light and at Colorado Springs, and I was gonna blast y'all. I'm like, damn, that happened? I don't remember. Like, I don't. It sounded like something that could happen, but I don't remember being there, dog. So, but I'm just giving y'all what I remember, and I want to keep it very, I want to give you a very microscopic view of the Army through my experiences in life and the nuances, but also there'll be points where I talk about, I'll give you what was going on around the Army. Because if you talk about military stuff, just military stuff is boring. I've tried that. I love the nuances of shit. So yeah, I look forward to just finishing this book. And then I have an idea for a Life After Army book, but we'll see. Once I'm done, I'm taking a long, I say that, but you know what? I'll be picking up shit. But hey, that's been Red Leg Podcast. I'm your host, Big Chief, 13 Bravo. Y'all be great. Peace.